All right, here we go. Let's rock and roll. Nicov and MBL. MBL here playing as John 2005. Byzantines and Mayans versus Miguel and Dogao. Byzantine Mayans on that side as well. So Nicov in blue will be opposite Miguel. So Nicov and Miguel, Byzantines v Mayans on that side. Kind of an interesting matchup because Mayans have those nasty archers and Byzantines that nasty trash, and in this case probably nasty skirms. Could be an interesting fight. Meanwhile, on the other side, much closer to one another are the green and yellow players, Mayans and Byzantines once again. So although mirror civs, not a mirror matchup, and it should make this one rather fun. If you guys are watching out there on YouTube, I'm Killer Beat. Thanks for joining. I think there are probably most of the people who see this will be watching us on Twitch. Thanks for being out there live, guys. Feel free to jump in the chat, and I'll try to keep up with it. Let's see how this goes, guys. 2v2 on Arabia. Okay, green player's map, front gold, front stone, front berries. Not the greatest of wood lines. It is Arabia, but this sucks, man. I don't like Dogao's wood at all. He's going to take this front wood pile, this front wood line, and that's about it. He can go way to the far corner as well. It's going to be a little tricky. MBL already forward, so we'll keep an eye on his eagle. MBL does love to lame, and he is forward very early, very easy to lame, especially stealing a boar with an eagle. Maybe we'll see a boar steal here. Boar on the front for Dogao. Okay, so Dogao for now as Byzantine still scouting around his side. His scout is going to be out of position to stop MBL from stealing this boar. Looks like MBL will steal this boar with no real problems. Got 3 hits in on it, but he's going to be fine taking that back home. A lot easier to micro the eagle since it's a little bit slower. Okay, so MBL will be +1 boar. His opponent has really crappy wood lines and not the greatest of maps. Dogao will be fighting MBL. On MBL's side, he's going to have gold on the front, gold on the front. This is a rather wallable map if he can get out there. You know, if he can maybe be aggressive early with a drush or some early archers, he could wall that front side. It's a lot of work, but MBL really does like to wall himself in. A lot of the games I watch of his, he does go above and beyond to wall even large distances. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if he walls this one up, maybe in the feudal age, but we'll see. Anyway, MBL steals a boar. Green player for now will be -1. I don't see his scout. Looks like his scout is out there searching around for maybe the last couple sheep here in the corner. Okay, so MBL steals a boar. Doesn't have the greatest map. Might do some walling. Nikov's got 4 vills on wood early. He can wall up the back corner pretty easily. Needs to wall this pond. Keep that in mind. He's got front stone, front gold, which is annoying. More front gold as well. So all in all, it's not the greatest of maps, but at least he's going to have 1 really safe gold pile and a safe wood line. With just a little bit of walling, he can make a nice little pocket here. And I think that's going to give him a pretty manageable early game map. But that's just my opinion. Who gives a crap what I think? Anyway, Miguel on his side will have back gold and back wood. He can also probably do a pretty good job to defend himself. Looks like Nicov was almost in time here to do some laming if he wanted to. Doesn't look like he really went out of the way to do so. Nicov saying, I'm a trush. He's going to send some tower rushing forward. He's saying that his opponent is drushing and fast castling. So here we're going to see Miguel dropping a barracks for now, and at least by Nikov's approximation, he's going to fast castle. Yeah, Gavian, we're moving to Sweden. We're moving, this is actually our last day. For those of you guys who are out there watching live, I've got 24 hours left of internet, so I'm going to do a little bit of a blitz. I've been really sick, but I'm going to try to stream some games so that we can, I don't know, so that I can still feel like I'm part of the community. I didn't want to go on like a week of being sick and then 2 weeks of moving. So see if I can get a couple games in the next 24 hours. Yep, moving to Sweden. Should be an even better stream when we get to Sweden. Certainly we'll have a better computer to work with. Anyway, 2 vills going over to gold for the Byzantine player. He's going to have a barracks forward, creating some militia, thinking about going men-at-arms. He said he was going to tower rush. He's actually walling toward the TC on this corner so that units can't walk around behind the TC. And it looks like Nicov is going to stay true to his word here, sending forward 4 vills and a couple of militia eventually. Men-at-arms and some villagers to build some towers on the front for the blue player. Where are those towers going to go? Well, Nicov has scouted the berries, he scouted the stone, and he's found this wood line. So I'm not exactly sure where he's going to go first. Not even going to speculate. I think, creeping toward this wood line would be fantastic for him, but we'll see. We'll see what he decides to do. He's the pro, not me. Anyway, Nikov's hat has certainly been tipped. His opponent, Miguel, now absolutely knows what's going on. Man-at-Arms coming for MBL. Man-at-Arms coming for Nicov. And look at this. MBL will go forward and drop towers as well. So we have a double trush here. Not double Dutch, double trush. MBL's initial tower in an interesting location. It's going to reach some of this wood line, but I don't think it's going to reach all of it. But hey, it's going to be a good staging point. It will stop villagers from secondary walling too much on this side. Dogao for now is going to try to keep those walls up, but he will soon find that his opponent is towering him. So both players are pushing pretty hard. I won't say all in, but 4 villagers forward on a tower rush is a pretty aggressive early play. Does look like Nikov's initial tower will take away this stone pile. His next tower would probably do well. If it's in series here, he can take this stone from his opponent. Back at home, Nicov just 2 vills on gold, has 5 villagers on stone. Sweet Jesus, he is really feeling like, he's all in on this tower push. Gotta be careful. 5 men-at-arms in defense from Miguel and a couple of archers. So Miguel's fast castle that Nicov was talking about isn't going to come to fruition. Just not going to be able to do it. Glokin saying, you do double Dutch? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, I do double Dutch, my friend. I'm sure there's a dirty version of that. For me, it means like what schoolgirls do on the playground. They like chalk out some squares and hop around. Anyway, looks like Nikov's going to try to sneak a tower up to the top, but that's not going to work. A couple of archers from Miguel are going to meet him there. Nicov right now is having a little bit of difficulty finding an area to poke and prod at. He's mostly been stymied on the front. He's keeping Miguel very busy, but Miguel really has defended this very nicely so far. I think Miguel's at a really big advantage on that side, unless Nicov can drop some heroic tower here relatively soon. MBL is still trying to creep towers toward his opponent. He's got 3 vills on the front there. Getting a little bit aggressive. His second tower in series here will be annoying, but plenty of vills from Dogao on the tower as well. So Dogao's going to have a defensive tower. He's got 3 vills on stone. I don't think he's going to get caught totally unaware by this. For now, MBL's tower is deleted. He has to retreat again, and he and Nicov are really having a lot of trouble getting any traction early on with their tower aggression. Nikov's grabbing a little bit of deer meat, and he might just go home, man. I don't see any way that he's going to get anything done. Men-at-Arms can really chase these villagers all the way to Xanadu, so they might as well get the heck out of Dodge. Okay, more archers coming from Miguel. You can see Nikov's walling behind the TC is becoming very prescient. I believe that would be the right word. That is absolutely a good prediction on his part. It's going to stop Miguel from roaming through the back of his eco. It's actually going to save a lot of villagers' lives. Those sweet, precious villager lives. Hey, Kuala, welcome. How are you? Europe, I'm naturally antagonistic of anybody from Gothenburg. Hey, fair enough, man. So, for the moment, we've got double tower rushes on the front that are really fizzling out, and that's going to give Dogao and Miguel a really good chance at carrying this game away pretty easily. Miguel on his side, 300 food, 100 gold. Dogao on his side, lots of food in the bank, needs a little bit of gold. But both of those guys could really beat their opponent to castle by quite a lot. And we all know what happens to towers in the Castle Age. Siege Workshop and a ram or 2, really GG towers. Anyway, we'll see how that one goes. We'll see what decisions are made as this one rolls forward. But at least for now, Nicov defending himself pretty adeptly. MBL still not pressured at home, but still not walled in. He's trying to do a lot of walling with some houses on top of that hill. He's eventually going to be able to close himself. But he's using aggression to keep his opponent busy, sending forward more villagers, dropping more towers. Going to try to rush down his opponent's walls. I don't know if this is a huge threat. Dogao can do some more walling here if he wants to, and he should be able to keep those units out. Dogao with quite a lot of skirms as well. Skirmishers, relatively good unit for this type of a problem. MBL is going to try to roll forward with towers, but it's going to be difficult to get up. We'll see. For the moment, there's an opening. Looks like Dogao able to finish those walls, sacrificing a vill. He's going to lose this house eventually, but enough skirmishers on this hill. If he can pick these vills from MBL, he's probably going to be fine. 3 more vills coming forward from Dogao. We're going to see a messy fight here. How are those villagers going to fight while they're carrying a massive wad of gold like that? Just tell me that. Anyway, it looks like Dogao will get into hand-to-hand combat here. Vil on Vil Crime. But he's going to probably win this fight versus MBL pretty easily. Reinforcing from his nearby ranges. Skirmishers coming in 2x2. MBL's going to lose all of his Vils there on the front eventually. And he's going to have to think of a different strategy. This isn't going so great. Interestingly, Miguel, instead of going toward Nicov, who was defending himself pretty nicely, is going to head toward MBL. MBL's going to have quite a few towers in defense. He's going to be just fine to thwart those archers for now. But still, not a lot of traction. Nicov on the way to castle, Miguel on the way to castle. Really surprised that Nicov was able to get up so soon to his opponent. MBL committing a lot more villager time to his forward. And you can see, well, did he just click up, or is he really just on 14 food? MBL is really just on 14 food. Sweet Jesus, he's in trouble, man. I thought he might have just clicked up as we looked at his stats, but he did not. Dogao is also not clicked up. Okay, Dogao is really putting a lot into this fight for now, keeping himself alive, so he and MBL will be feudal for a little bit longer. Stanks here, Stegant. Visit Sundsvall and my work at the casino. Sounds good, buddy. I'll definitely be to the casino. My family is pumped about going to the casino. They love to gamble. Anyway, at the moment, MBL's tower aggression, it's still alive. He's still being annoying. I'm really surprised Dogao wasn't able to click up, but he built so many skirms here that I suppose that was probably most of his food that he would have used to click up for now. 300 food, 200 gold for Dogao. Looks like MBL not terribly close at all to clicking up. Both Miguel and Nicov will be up. Miguel was building quite a few archers for a while there. Those are now crossbows with bodkin arrow. Nikov's going to go chain barding armor, and it looks like he's going to have double stable knights. So Nicov is a product of his circumstances here, having to go knights to get out across the map. Can certainly do good damage to Dogao's army of skirmishers here on the front. Dogao's not going to wait till Castle Age. He's going to start rushing these towers of MBL down right here, right now. Interesting, but not sure. Not sure exactly why he's so worried about that tower on the front. Nonetheless, he'll have 4 villagers knocking that thing over pretty quickly. And looks like for now he'll stop MBL's tower creep. MBL's still building towers, though. They're just not terribly... They're not creeping in too quickly. Europe. We all know Killer's moving to Europe to get more viewers on his Twitch channel. Yes, indeed. My career is fake. I made it all up. It's true. It's true. Knights coming out 2x2. Looks like the blue player will have +1, +2 on those. Byzantine Knights, yeah, decent. He can run straight toward the green player Dogao and take on his feudal army. For now, doesn't want to do it under that TC, but hey, gotta make some concessions, I guess. He's gonna send in 4 knights from different directions, and it looks like he's just gonna do a flyby here. Not sure exactly where Nicov was planning to hit. Maybe he can hit these villagers on stone before this army catches up. But there's just not a lot here from Dogao that's really too terribly open. Those knights are awfully beefy, but they're eventually going to get dwindled down. One more spear on the way over. Looks like the green player slowly but surely going to clean this up. You know what, though? Nicov taking a lot of units off the map. Got to give him some props there, taking quite a few of those archers off the map. Interestingly, MBL will click up first. I have no idea how that happened, but he will. MBL on 44 Vils, Dogao on 45. Both of those guys clicking up to castle at about the same time. Red player grabbing Thumb Ring, has some pretty beefy crossbows on the front, +2, +1 on those. He just doesn't have a good place to harass Nicov from. Nicov with a Mangonel in defense. 1, 2, 3 TCs down on his side of the map. Pretty damn safe. MBL has a bunch of towers as well, so the crossbows are going to have a little bit of trouble raiding their opponents. Meanwhile, Nicov having no trouble at all, really running in, committing knights, you know, doesn't seem terribly worried about losing a couple units here and there, just trying to get some damage in. Seems to be focused on doing some good raiding. He did lose his 4 knights in Dogao's eco, but he killed some military units, he killed some villagers, and, you know, he's going to slow his opponent down as much as he can, I suppose. Going to grab a Vil from Miguel. Miguel on 64, Nicov on 69. We're going to see, oh yeah, 69. We're going to see crossbows roaming in from Miguel. He's going to be able to shut down some of this eco. It's just so difficult with this many towers on the map to keep those crossbows safe. There's also a few mangonels from Nicov that he's going to have to be very careful about. Looks like MBL will have a small army of crossbows of his own right. He's not going to even bother trying to hit the green player who's totally walled up. He's going to circle all the way around the map to hit Miguel. Miguel's got a TC here that really caps off the top of his eco, but those units will be annoying. They'll certainly be able to idle some villagers. In the meantime, mangonels and crossbows and knights in a three-way dance, a menage a trois, if you will. Looks like the red player running in, grabbing a couple knights and getting out of dodge before the mangos get too close. More knights on the way over for Nicov. Going to start shoring up his defenses. 70 villagers for Nicov, 70 villagers for Miguel, 45 for MBL, and 50 for the green player. Castle is up in defense for the Byzantine player on that side. University coming down as well. 1 TC for the green player, but somehow a 5 villager advantage. Not sure how MBL lost a couple of vills there, but he certainly did. This castle's in a good defensive location, can knock down the towers. We're not going to see cataphracts, at least not for now. Looks like Dogao will come back. He'll kill a couple more vills from MBL. MBL going to go relatively, actually very quickly to the Imperial Age. 1 TC, pretty damn quick imp after a tower rush there from MBL. He's going to rely on his teammate, Nicov, to start a lot of fires and really annoy both Miguel and Dogao here for a couple of minutes. If Nicov can keep the attention of 2 players versus MBL, he should be in good shape. What is Dogao saying? Badly. No offense, but you suck badly, says Dogao. Well, no offense, but you suck badly. That seems offensive to me. Phoenix, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the compliment. We'll turn the chat on next time so people can see it on the screen, but I can still see you guys out there. Looks like we're going to see a couple of plumes coming out for the red player. He's on the way to Imperial Age. MBL will get to Imp first. He's going to go Elite Eagle, but he's on 1 TC. He's got Dogao in the back of his economy. And we saw Nicov walling up the back of his eco over on this side of the map, just a couple of houses. In this case, we're not going to see as much walling toward the TC. This is a big group of archers. They could walk under that TC if they needed to, but would have deterred them a little bit. You can see a lot of these archers and skirms on very low HP, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to come in here and idle a lot of gold eco. MBL can clean them up with elite eagles pretty quickly. He just needs a few of them, but losing your gold economy for this amount of time is going to really make it tough for MBL to keep up eagle production. However, 500 gold in the bank, so he seems to be ready for just such a problem. However, it's just going to take his first bastion of eagles here are all going to be focused on defense. Looks like we will see Imperial Age for Dogao, Scale Barding for Dogao coming, Imperial coming for Nicov, Elite Skirm for him. Miguel still working his way up to Imp, starting to mass up plumes. So 1 Mayans player going plumes, 1 Mayans player going Elite Eagles without plumes at all. And we'll see how this goes. A couple cataphracts from the green player Dogao. Going to be able to maybe run in and raid. Somewhat of an arrow-resistant unit. Not really. +1 defense versus archers. But we'll see. We'll see how they do. I guess it's mostly going to be eagles from MBL anyway. So no big whoop. They can run in and keep harassing this gold economy. We're keeping it on MBL's point of view because I'm really interested in his gold. He's got 20 gold in the bank and almost no food to work with. 1 TC build, he's got 43 villagers, and unfortunately for him, 9 of those are idle, and most of those idols should be on gold right now. That's a really difficult situation for him. Dogao's doing a great job to keep his opponent off of gold. In the meantime, Nicov and Miguel seem to be in a bit of a stalemate. Nicov adding in elite skirms to deal with the soon-to-be elite plumes from his opponent, Miguel, but I don't see that side being won or lost in the next couple minutes. What I do see is MBL having a lot of trouble getting his eagle production in order. Dogao is sending in cataphracts. He's reinforcing this army. There's a hole through this wall, and this is absolutely the open wound that Dogao needs to continue to press on. He's going to put his thumb right in that open wound, and MBL just 171 gold. He's spending everything he can on eagles, but you can see he can only queue like 2 barracks at a time. That is really not enough to spam your opponent, and unfortunately it looks like MBL's gold for now is GG. So MBL has no gold. He's got nothing near him that he can go to start taking gold. He does have a market. And he does have a teammate who can sling him some resources, but he's losing vills. He's on 43. Dogao's on 98 now. MBL's saying, I'm dead. And Nicov saying, is mine on you? Nope. Miguel is not on MBL, but Dogao absolutely getting through the back here with those crossbows, keeping MBL very busy, and then coming right through the front door with what turns out to be about 8 cataphracts. Just stopping the eagle spam before it can begin. Great game from Dogao to really push on his opponent's gold right when he needed to. He knew exactly where to go. He committed enough resources to do so, and he's really crippled MBL. MBL saying I'm GG, and he really is. I don't know if he can get back into this by any stretch of... I don't see any way that I could get myself back into this game. But hey man, he's a pro, and I'm not, so maybe he can do this. But we're going to speed through this for a moment, because I have a feeling that we're going to see a GG any second. Looks like we will see the other side of the map. It is going to be a little bit in the favor of Nicov. At least he's defending himself pretty nicely. Going to be able to maybe knock down this castle eventually. A little bit of a treb war going on. Elite Plumes roaming in to kill these villagers, I would think. No, I think they were focused on the trebs. But nonetheless, that is really out in no man's land. Not really a game that Nicov could win in the next couple minutes, and it is definitely a game that MBL could have lost in the next couple of minutes. So we're going to see Nicov and MBL GG out of game 1 here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that 2v2. Hopefully you enjoyed a double tower push from both Nicov and MBL. Neither player really getting a ton of bang for their buck with the tower push. And that might have cost them the game, but I think, you know, MBL's 1TC fast imp sort of push was a little bit too greedy. Dogao built out a couple of crossbows and just really took away this gold eco. You can't win if you're trying to build eagles without gold. So GG, well played. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Dogao and Miguel will get the win here in game number 1.